A memoir by Melania Trump. The memoir opens with a scene of anticipation and excitement. Melania Knauss, a 26-year-old model, is on a plane about to land in New York City. She has traveled all over Europe, but this journey to the United States feels different. The year is 1996. She has made the decision to test her skills in the American modeling market, a significant gamble that feels more substantial than any she has taken before. Her heart pounds as she gazes out the window, hoping to catch a glimpse of the iconic skyline. She carries 2 suitcases and a carry-on containing only the essentials: clothing, shoes, cosmetics, her passport, and her portfolio. Her portfolio represents nearly a decade of dedicated modeling work across Italy, France, and Germany. After a long walk through the crowded JFK Airport, she finally reaches Immigration and Customs. She waits patiently in the visitors' line, which moves significantly slower than the line for U.S. citizens. The immigration agent examines her documents meticulously, then looks her up and down. He checks back and forth between her passport photo and the face in front of him. "First time here?" he asks. "Yes," she replies. "First time." He smiles, stamps her passport, and hands it back. "Welcome to the United States," he says. The date is August 27, 1996. She feels a sense of relief and excitement. Her life has shifted direction, presenting new opportunities. As she steps outside, the heat and humidity envelop her. She locates the driver sent by her agency, Metropolitan Models, and steps into the back of a long, black limousine. The interior exudes elegance, and she feels an immediate sense of comfort. The traffic is heavy, but when the skyline comes into view, her heart leaps. The Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, and the Twin Towers stand proudly against the horizon. Any second thoughts about her decision dissipate. This is where she is meant to be. Reflecting on this pivotal moment, Melania realizes the profound significance of her decision to move to New York. This moment, she understands, is when she became solely responsible for the life she leads. Another pivotal moment comes 10 years later, in July 2006, when she becomes an American citizen. She recalls the arduous immigration process and the sense of pride and accomplishment she felt upon reaching this milestone. It marked the sunrise of certainty in her life. The narrative shifts to the morning of Tuesday, November 8, 2016. Melania wakes up early in Trump Tower. The city is quiet and calm. She enters her son Barron's room and gently kisses his forehead, knowing that this day will bring changes none of them can predict. Donald Trump, her husband, has poured his heart and soul into a campaign to bring about real change. Now it is up to the American people to decide if they will trust him to lead the country. At 10 a.m., Donald and Melania make their way to the voting station. The air is filled with the resounding cheers of "Trump, Trump, Trump" as they step into the car. Inside the polling station, they enter the privacy of the voting booth. Seeing her husband's name on the ballot, Melania feels a surge of pride and amazement. They submit their ballots, completing a significant step in the American democratic process. By noon, they are back at Trump Tower, waiting impatiently for the election's outcome. Melania spends time with Barron and her parents, while Donald goes back and forth between his campaign office and home. By 7 p.m., the major polls and pundits have all but crowned Hillary Clinton the victor. But as the evening progresses, the mood begins to shift. Donald gains momentum in key battleground states, inching closer to victory. At 2:30 a.m., Wisconsin's results confirm it. Donald has won the presidency. The room erupts in a mix of cheers, gasps, and hugs. They make their way to the Hilton Hotel, where Donald delivers his victory speech. The atmosphere is electric as they wait for Hillary Clinton to concede the election. Finally, at 2:40 a.m., the call comes in and Donald takes the stage. Barron and Melania stand beside him, proud and ready for the next chapter. Donald strikes a unifying tone, recognizing the need for healing and unity in America. He pledges to be president for all Americans and reaches out to those who did not support him, asking for their guidance and help to unify the country. Melania's mind quickly shifts to the multitude of tasks before them. She thinks about Barron and how this new stage in their lives will impact him. She knows that careful planning and organization will be key in navigating this new journey. The media's scrutiny only adds to the weight of these responsibilities, but she is determined to rise to the challenge. The narrative then transitions to Melania's early life. She was born on April 26, 1970 in Sevnica, a picturesque town in Slovenia. Her mother, Amalia, was a talented artist, pattern maker, and tailor who worked at the Jutranka children's clothing factory. Her father, Victor, was confident and industrious, with an outgoing personality and a passion for automobiles. Melania's parents, though living through significant political events, were not particularly politically active. Despite Slovenia being part of communist Yugoslavia, the communism there was different from that of the Soviet Union. Melania felt more connected to her neighbors in Italy or Austria than to other communist countries in Eastern Europe. Her childhood home was a vibrant and lively place thanks to her mother's artistic touch. She describes herself as a joyful and contented baby who loved playing with Barbie dolls and a red race car model gifted by her father. Music was a significant aspect of her life from a very young age. She cherished her Marinka books and enjoyed listening to her favorite records. Melania's childhood experiences shaped her creativity, resourcefulness, and love of the arts. She developed a profound knowledge of cars thanks to her father. She demonstrated a strong sense of organization and a diligent work ethic. She had a genuine passion for learning and delved into subjects ranging from art and history to geography. As a child, Melania cherished solitude and found solace in the company of her family or in her own thoughts. She learned that the most crucial relationship she could cultivate was the one she had with herself. She was often targeted for her appearance, being perceived as too tall and too skinny, but she managed to rise above these challenges, maintaining a strong sense of self and confidence in her accomplishments. Her older sister Ines was a guiding light who illuminated her path and inspired her to reach for the stars. They shared a close bond revolving around their mutual love for music, design, literature, and fashion history. They attended their first concert together, Elton John's European Express Tour in 1984. Later, they traveled to Venice and attended a Tina Turner concert in 1990. Melania's perception of the world was initially limited to her family experiences. The routines and activities that defined her daily life seemed completely normal. It was only later, as she grew older, that she came to appreciate the effort and sacrifice that went into creating those moments of joy and togetherness. Her parents' commitment to providing a stable and nurturing environment laid the foundation for the person she has become. Growing up in Eastern Europe, Melania never felt isolated or limited. She had the opportunity to travel and explore different cultures. With Venice just a 3-hour drive away and Vienna within easy reach, she was constantly exposed to the beauty and culture of neighboring countries. Her annual summer trips to the Dalmatian coast of Croatia left an indelible mark on her. Her father documented their lives with a video camera, capturing moments they would later watch together. These family screenings brought them joy and laughter, strengthening their connection and preserving their cherished memories. Returning home to Sevnica was always a solace for Melania. Despite the challenges and uncertainties of the outside world, coming back to their lives, just the four of them, was a constant source of happiness and contentment. Melania's modeling career began with a train ride to Belgrade, where her mother invited her and Ines to model her latest creations on the runway. The anticipation of stepping into the world of fashion at 6 years old filled her with excitement and joy. As she matured, her focus shifted from modeling to creating. She gained entry to the renowned Secondary School for Design and Photography in Ljubljana, choosing to pursue a degree in industrial design. In 1987, after a fashion show, she met Stan Jerko, a photographer, who proposed the idea of capturing some photographs. Despite her initial doubts, she and Ines went to his studio together. The simplicity of the setup allowed for her natural beauty to shine through. The photo shoot led to more significant bookings, including features in a Slovenian fashion magazine and participation in runway shows. She met an Italian movie producer who invited her to a modeling contest in Italy. She won first place, but was cheated out of her prize money. This experience taught her a valuable lesson about trust and integrity. In 1992, Melania participated in the Look of the Year contest organized by Jana magazine. She came in second and was offered a contract with a modeling agency in Milan. This opportunity forced her to make a decision between pursuing a career in architecture or modeling. She chose modeling and moved to Milan. In Milan, she realized that her aspirations were set higher than what was being offered. She switched agencies and secured a contract with Riccardo Gay, a legend in the industry. Her schedule was filled with go-sees, test photography, casting calls, and photo shoots. She traveled to exotic locations for editorial shoots and advertising campaigns. After 2 successful years in Milan, Melania relocated to Paris, the world capital of high fashion. She met Paolo Zampoli, co-owner of Metropolitan Models in New York, who expressed interest in having her come to the United States. She decided to test her skills in the biggest and most exciting modeling market in the world. In New York, Melania found herself enamored with the city's pulse. She secured her work visa and began booking jobs with prestigious department stores and magazines. She found a 1-bedroom apartment near 30th Street and Park Avenue and enjoyed the city's cultural gems. One evening in September 1998, Melania attended a party at the Kit Kat Club during Fashion Week. There, she met Donald Trump. He introduced himself and took the seat next to hers, starting a conversation. Despite being accompanied by a beautiful date, he was intent and focused on their interaction. He asked for her phone number, but she declined and instead asked for his. He gave her his number on a business card, and she promised to call him. After a photo shoot in the Caribbean, Melania returned to her apartment and called Donald. They had an easy conversation, and he invited her on a weekend drive to his property in Bedford, New York. She accepted. It was a crisp September Sunday when Donald picked her up in his black Mercedes. They chatted about their lives, dreams, and experiences. He told her about his business and his love for golf. During their lunch, Donald casually mentioned his children and shared some details of his family life. He told her that he was separated and in the process of divorce from his second wife. Melania felt an instant connection with him. She found him to be different, a breath of fresh air. As they spent more time together, Melania made a conscious effort to maintain a sense of privacy in their relationship. She tried to keep their time together as low-key as possible. They enjoyed their time in a private club downtown, went to movies and Broadway shows, and often stayed in, watching TV or listening to music. Despite her attempts at discretion, the public soon got wind of their romance. They attended high-profile events together, and the media's fascination with their relationship grew. The gossip columns labeled her a gold digger, but such accusations could never tarnish the love and connection they shared. By 2004, Melania had established a robust career as a model, and she and Donald were 6 years into their relationship. One evening in April 2004, as they were preparing to attend the Met Gala, Donald surprised her with an emerald-cut diamond ring. He asked her to marry him, and she said yes. It was April 26th, her birthday. Following their engagement, the wedding planning process took off at an accelerated pace. They scheduled their wedding for January 22, 2005, at the Episcopal Church of Bethesda by the Sea in Palm Beach, followed by a reception at Mar-a-Lago. Anna Wintour at Vogue invited Melania to be featured on the cover and in a feature story about her wedding. Melania flew to Paris to select a wedding dress, accompanied by Andre Leontali. She chose a stunning Dior gown designed by John Galliano. The wedding was a lavish affair, with every element radiating sophistication and glamour. The exchange of vows in the ornate church was deeply meaningful. The reception at Mar-a-Lago was lively, with 500 guests enjoying the music of the Michael Rose Orchestra. The evening was made even more special when Tony Bennett, Paul Anka, and Billy Joel took the stage to serenade the crowd. In July 2005, Melania told Donald she was pregnant. They were both over the moon. She embraced the beauty of pregnancy, and her body changing was a celebration of life itself. Baron William Trump was born in March 2006. The experience of being a mother brought her a sense of warmth, love, purpose, and fulfillment. Melania stepped back from public life during Baron's early years, focusing on providing him the care and attention he needed. Her mother was a guiding force, teaching her the importance of allowing others to carve their own paths. On January 9, 2024, Melania's mother passed away. The loss left her with a profound sense of grief, yet an enduring gratitude for the unconditional love her mother had bestowed upon her. In July 2006, Melania became an American citizen. She reflected on the arduous process and the sense of pride and belonging she felt. As she stated in a speech at a naturalization ceremony 17 years later, reaching the milestone of American citizenship marked the sunrise of certainty in her life. By 2009, with Barron in preschool, Melania was able to carve out some time for projects beyond motherhood. She launched a jewelry line inspired by a gold bracelet her father had given to her mother. The collection sold out within 45 minutes on QVC, sparking a 3-year success story. In 2011, she was approached to create a line of high-end skincare products. She developed Melania Caviar Complex C6, but the full rollout never materialized due to internal issues at the manufacturing company. This experience taught her valuable lessons about the complexities of the business world. June 16, 2015, marked another carefully planned change in their lives. It was the day Donald announced his candidacy for President of the United States. The announcement took place at Trump Tower, and the atmosphere was electric. Donald outlined the problems facing the country and his vision for making America great again. As the campaign accelerated, Melania prepared for her speech at the Republican National Convention. She wanted to present herself authentically and share her story. However, her speech was later accused of plagiarism, causing a controversy. This incident taught her the importance of being intimately involved with every detail of her public life. The media's relentless criticism and the publication of nude photos taken 20 years earlier added to the challenges she faced. She sued the Daily Mail for publishing false allegations about her past and won. These experiences solidified her resolve to stay above the fray and protect her son from unwanted attention. In 1999, when asked what kind of First Lady she would be, Melania said she would be very traditional, like Jackie Kennedy. However, she realized that her role would have to be unique and individual in the modern age of constant social media exposure. She was committed to upholding the dignity of the First Ladyship and serving the American people with strength and grace. The morning after the election, Melania's life was governed by a relentless schedule. She and Donald visited the White House, where Michelle Obama gave her a tour of the residence. Melania began establishing her team, facing the challenge of building it from scratch as a political newcomer. On January 20, 2017, Donald was inaugurated as the 45th President of the United States. Melania wore a stunning blue ensemble designed by Ralph Lauren. The inauguration was a whirlwind of encounters and handshakes. That evening, she wore a couture gown designed by Hervé Pierre for the inaugural balls. As First Lady, Melania's responsibilities encompassed a wide range of duties, from overseeing White House staff to planning and hosting events. She managed her duties while supporting her husband's administration and raising Barron. Melania took on the task of renovating and redecorating parts of the White House, working with interior designer Tham Kanalikam. They focused on restoring the historical significance of the building while creating a modern and inviting home. She also oversaw the construction of a new White House tennis pavilion and the renovation of the Rose Garden. Melania hosted numerous events at the White House, including the Governor's Ball, state dinners, and holiday celebrations. She traveled extensively, both domestically and internationally, meeting with world leaders and engaging in diplomatic efforts. One of her most significant initiatives as First Lady was Be Best, aimed at addressing the well-being of children, online safety, and the opioid crisis. She launched the initiative on May 7, 2018, in the Rose Garden. Despite facing criticism from the media, she remained committed to her mission of protecting children and promoting their well-being. The opioid epidemic was a particular focus of Be Best. Melania visited hospitals and recovery centers, meeting with affected families and advocating for solutions. She also addressed the issue of cyberbullying, hosting a roundtable discussion with tech executives and speaking out against online harassment. In October 2018, Melania embarked on her first solo foreign trip, visiting Ghana, Malawi, Kenya, and Egypt. She met with women and children, visited hospitals and schools, and promoted the Be Best initiative on a global platform. The COVID-19 pandemic brought new challenges. Melania implemented safety protocols at the White House, suspended public tours, and worked to support healthcare workers and first responders. She released a series of public service announcements, urging Americans to follow safety guidelines and offering words of encouragement. Amid the pandemic, the nation faced a crucial election year. Protests and social unrest added to the challenges. Melania remained focused on her duties and supported her husband's re-election campaign. However, the election results were uncertain and the media's negative coverage added to the difficulties they faced. On election night, the results were not immediately clear. The uncertainty dragged on for several days, with reports of suspicious voting activity. Melania prepared for their move to Mar-a-Lago and began researching schools for Barron. On January 6, 2021, while working on archival projects at the White House, Melania was informed of the events unfolding at the Capitol. She was deeply disturbed by the violence and later learned of the attempted assassination of her husband at a rally. As their time in the White House came to an end, Melania reflected on the honor of serving as First Lady and the opportunities she had to make a positive impact. She launched Fostering the Future, a Be Best initiative aimed at supporting children in the foster care system through education and career development. The memoir concludes with Melania's reflections on her journey, the challenges she faced, and her hopes for the future. She emphasizes the importance of individual liberty, the need to protect women's rights, and the necessity of addressing the divisions in society. Despite the controversies and hardships, Melania remains committed to making a difference and promoting a message of unity, respect, and compassion. If you enjoyed this book breakdown, please consider liking this video and subscribing to get notified when we post our next book.